Hello, hello. Just making some final annotation. How are you this morning? Hope you're doing good. I'm surprised I'm this energetic because I haven't slept as much, but I'm obviously very excited to talk to you. And what I do gives me energy, right? Just a few minutes before I was like, bleh. And now I'm on camera and I feel so much better because I'm excited to talk about this subject, right? And this is even before we get started, this is why I always talk about your business your way. I do daily Facebook Lives like this because it excites me, because it makes me happy, because um, I get to talk about what I get to talk about. And I get to help people in the process. And that makes me so freaking happy, right? So that is your business your way. There's different periods in my business where I focused on different ways of marketing, different ways to get my message out there. Sometimes I'm like all into written stuff. So written posts, blog posts, those type of things. And other times I just want to talk. Like I don't want to write shit down. And right now it's perfect to talk because honestly, I feel like with everything that's going down in the world, my my mood and my interest in things and my feelings have been going up and down and up and down, but it's not like a bad up and down. When you are up leveling, you go through that period where you don't feel like nothing, like things need to be broken down in order to build up. And I feel like that used to happen to me like once every few months. The past few weeks, it feels like it's been happening every day or every 2 days or something. So, like, I go down and then I'm up. I go down, but I'm growing in the process, but it's just like, my goodness, a hot mess. A hot mess. But we got to find the beauty in the hot messes. And the beauty is that you get to grow in the uncomfortability, in the shit, and all that stuff. You can grow, right? So, today we're talking high ticket coaching, high ticket sales. It's not high ticket sales per se, but why more about are you ready to start charging high ticket, and why is it important to talk about this, and what do you need to know before you start charging high ticket, and why do you need to charge high ticket, right? Before I get started on this, one thing I want to say is I'm the queen of saying your business your way. That's the motto, the tagline of my business. So there's nothing that you must do. However, when it comes to high ticket coaching, a lot of people do not charge what they want to charge or what they need to charge or what their soul is calling them to charge because they're afraid and because they don't want to do the work, or sometimes it's not want. Sometimes they don't know how to do the work in order to figure it out, right? And that's where a coach like me comes in, where I help people figure that shit out. I'm going to tell you the nitty gritty of it. So if you have any questions, let me know. Take your pen and paper down and write notes because I know for some of you this will be eye opening and very interesting. As I always say, if you're interested in this subject, please give me some likes and some love, whether you're watching live or on the replay. And also, just be mindful if anyone comes to mind while you're watching this. If they do, send it to them, send this video to them, tag them, share it publicly if it's like your whole audience. I don't know. But it's important to share what you receive so that you can help somebody else. But more importantly, that can start a dialogue that can help both of you grow, right? So let's get started with high ticket coaching. First thing I want to talk about Coaching is not a cheap industry to be in. Okay? Coaching is not something that you can just charge $5 an hour. The reason is because you won't be able to help the amount of people that you want to help, and you won't be able to really, really commit to a client. Okay? High ticket coaching, the reason why coaching packages cost so much, the reason why I charge $10,000 to work with me for 6 months, for example, is because if I do not get that as a coach, if you do not get the amount of money to support you, you cannot show up for that person in a way that really transforms their life. Remember, we are not in the business of teaching. That's not the business you're in. You're in the business of transformation. And so, in order to transform somebody's life, you need to be dedicated to that person. You need to make sure that when they need you, you're there, right? And obviously, you do need to set boundaries. Like, you're not going to be waking up consistently in the middle of the night to help a client. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about having the space to actually be invested in somebody. There are people that say they want 20 clients, and I'm always taken aback by that. Not because it's not possible. It is 100% possible. But remember that if you are doing one-on-one coaching, and high-ticket coaching is mostly one-on-one, though you could also have a high-ticket mastermind, okay? If you are working one-on-one with 20 people in 1 week, I'm not saying you're not going to bring transformation to them. Not what I'm saying at all. And obviously, if you're working with 20 people, you could lower your prices. But if you're working with 20 people, you're not going to help them as well as if you're working with 10. And you're not going to help those 10 as well as if you're working with 5. Why? Because your mind, your soul, your spirit is invested in that person even more. Right? I have one partner, one boyfriend. I know that, and he's the most important person in my life, right? I know that besides the things that I do for myself and for my business, I make sure that we are all right, right? And him as well. I don't always like to say I make sure that he's all right because I'm not his mama, but I make sure that he's all right. He's on my mind. I make sure that I do things to make him happy and feel good. If you are working with 20 people at the same time, if I was dating 20 guys at the same time, how much love could I really give each one of them? I'd probably start confusing them and forgetting names. Well, if I'm that invested in them, I probably won't forget their names. But you know what? Like, oh shoot, were you the one that likes basketball or the one that likes football? And are you the one that likes cheesecake or apple pie? Like you start to getting them confused. So high ticket sales is about being more and more, high ticket coaching is about being more and more invested in your clients. And as I always say, coaching is not a cheap industry. Okay, moving on. A lot of people get into coaching and they think hourly rates, right? So that's how you're supposed to think work-wise. A lot of the minimum wage is set based on hourly and monthly and those type of things. The problem with charging hourly is that you're never really just working with that person for 1 hour. Okay? And again, if you are, then you're not as invested in that person. I know that if I'm going to show up on a coaching call with somebody, I make sure that at least 20 minutes before I start grounding myself and chill out. I love to take a shower right before. And it's the same thing I do when I show up live here. So my trainings could be about 20 to 30 minutes when I show up live every single day. But it takes more time out of my day. I also usually need time to like unwind afterwards. So it takes at least an hour for me to do this live alone, let alone coaching somebody and making sure that they get the transformation they deserve and that they're paying for. So, and I'm also the type of person that if I'm on a coaching call with somebody and they need 15 minutes more, 30 minutes more, I'm going to give it to them. I'm not going to say, "Oh no, I got like 10 more clients today. How I can't help you anymore. It's done. Like your hour's done. Bye-bye. I got people waiting for me, yo. You're crying right now? You're having a hard time right now? Sorry. I can't." You can't do that as a coach. I can't do that as a coach because hello, I really care about my clients. If the person just had a huge breakthrough and they're crying and bawling and they're like, "Oh my god, oh, oh, oh." If they're in their state, I'm not gonna go, "Ah ha ha ha, time is over." No, I'm gonna go, "Oh my god, this is beautiful," or "This is ugly. Let's deal with it. Let's sit in this for a moment." Right? I cannot just drop somebody like that. And that's another reason why you would charge high ticket, because you can only have less clients, right? Um and so yeah, I said hourly rate is the worst way you can charge. I highly suggest charging packages. The other reason why hourly rate can be horrible is the lack of commitment. If I'm only going to commit to 1 hour with you, my transformation is going to be way less than if I commit to 1 hour every week. And my transformation is going to be way less than if I commit 3 times 20 minutes every week, which one of my friends is charging right now. Charging. Yeah, her coaching package is that way, but she works with clients that way. So it's 3 times a week, 20 minutes. And she has seen a drastic change and more positive results based on that because she realized her clients needed that. I think it's fabulous, right? But if you say, let's say somebody just pays for 1 week with that one coach, 3 20-minute calls, and then they're done. If that's all the money they have, if that's all the interest they have, if they fell into a rut afterwards, there's no more coaching left. And of course, if you're only charging hourly, you got to make sure that your hours are always booked. So if somebody's not, renewing, eventually you're going to be fully booked and they can't find a spot. And that really sucks. Right? So a coaching package is great because you can invest in their transformation and they're investing in their transformation with you. And it's an energetic exchange with money between the two. Okay? Then another thing that I wanted to say is you will get frustrated if you charge a little and it can ruin the connection. I've had courses, this hasn't happened to me very, very often because I was very aware of what I'm talking about right now very early on in my coaching because I invested in a coach, right? But it has happened where I felt like I charged way too little for somebody, and then I'm way less invested in that person, right? I'm just like, okay, You don't want to do the work? Fine. You don't want to do this? Fine. I'm not going to like kill myself about this because you ain't paying me to kill myself over you. That's a natural human response. Because also remember that if you are not charging in a way to sustain your lifestyle, worry is going to creep in. I don't suggest you worry, and I suggest you work on your worries and all that good stuff. But if the worry creeps in, how invested can you actually be in that client? Right? All right. So let's move on to the next thing. Or the last point that I wanted to make. The reason why charging high ticket is important is an hour spent with that person or any time you spend with that one client is time spent away from other things. And if you start putting a price on the things in your life, the things you love, now all of a sudden things change, right? If you have a partner, if you have friends, if you have, I mean, you have one of those at least, children, people in your life, like how much does it cost you to spend time with them? And then also think, how much is it important for you to really be invested in that client? And in the beginning, I do understand that a lot of people are very insecure about their ability to actually bring transformation. I used to be. And sometimes I still am. Let's be honest. I still am. I just got to get myself out of that shit now. So, in the beginning, it's hard to get there. And that's what I help people with, right? To help people step it up and understand their worth. Because I hate the line that some people use, charge your worth. You can't charge your worth because your worth is in the billions. Literally. You're that amazing. And I don't know if you are watching this, like it's scientifically proven. I don't remember how much it is. 8 point something billion, or is it 3 point? There's like more than $1 billion that your body produces in a week worth of energy. Like energy that you pay for, to plug in your computer and your phone and all that stuff. Your body produces billions of that on a weekly basis. So you're worth billions, right? And there's only a few people that can actually pay your worth. Okay? So this is why it's important to charge high ticket. Okay? There's so much more that goes into it. Obviously, this is individual. For each individual, it changes what they need to focus on, what they don't need to focus on, what they might need to focus on that I haven't mentioned here because I could sense it or I could see it, or from my experience, I can help somebody with it. But this is basically it. And so I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions for me, drop them in the comments, and have a great rest of your day. All right? See you again tomorrow, same time, same place. Much love to you all. Peace out and bye-bye.